It's a tough world out there, my friends. A war on money is being fought at a degree and pace that I never imagined we would see due to rising prices, collapsing assets, and other factors. It's the start of the Great Reset, or when the globe is reset and our financial and corporate rulers are given complete control. Global government is barely hanging on. However, fortunately, we the people have a real advantage over them because of decentralization. Let's utilize our hands well if they're going to push off the flop. Let's talk about this together for a video today. Welcome to Critique, a channel that gives critical evaluation or analysis, especially in dealing with crypto. Everything regarding money, finance, investing, cryptocurrency, and blockchain-related topics including ICOs, NFTs, and yield farming. Please subscribe and share this video. Also, do hit that like button. What exactly is this Great Reset, then, to start? Well, the 2010 publication of the book The Great Reset by American urban studies researcher Richard Florida is when the word Great Reset specifically entered the public vocabulary. Florida's book, which was published in the wake of 2008 financial crisis, made the case that the 2008 financial catastrophe was the most recent in a line of Great Resets. What else occurred at this time? The same reason that Bitcoin did, the 2008 financial crisis. The thought of a Great Reset gave birth to something positive. Money that is not under the global control of banks and corporate interests is likewise something bad. The World Economic Forum, or also known as WEF, is a name that I'm sure some of you are familiar with. For those of you who don't know, they are a well-known group of the globe's political, economic, and cultural elites that get together each year in Davos, Switzerland, to talk about how to govern the world. They hold the majority of the world's power and nearly all of its wealth behind closed doors. Klaus Schwab established the forum more than 50 years ago, and he continues to lead as executive chairman. Schwab made this statement in Davos at the 2014 WEF annual meeting, just 4 years after Florida's Great Reset book was published. He desired to press the reset button. And shortly after this 2014 presentation, the WEF website underwent a makeover, introducing a reset button to the public. However, the WEF makes it abundantly obvious on its website that it is pushing forward with a great reset of this globe, allocating an entire page to the reset. What do they think of this strategy? The usual environment for making decisions is fundamentally shifting as a result of the Rona crisis and the political, economic, and social disturbances it has brought about. Amidst a worldwide backdrop of concern for lives, livelihoods, and the environment, the inconsistencies, inadequacies, and contradictions of numerous systems, from health and financial to energy and education, are more apparent than ever. This initiative will provide insights to help inform all those deciding the future position of global relations, the path of national economies, the aspirations of societies, the character of business models, and the governance of a global commons as we enter a special window of opportunity to mold the recovery. The Great Reset initiative includes a set of dimensions to create a new social compact, drawing on the wisdom and vision of the leaders involved in each of the forum's communities. So when did the notion of a global Great Reset emerge? In a post titled "Now is the Time for the Great Reset," published on June 3, 2020, the WEF unveiled its strategy. Shortly after, Schwab co-authored a book titled COVID-19: The Great Reset. What led to the Great Reset, then? In what ways did they proceed? The WEF conducted 2 events in 2018 and 2019 that served as the key sources of inspiration for the ongoing Great Reset project. Also, new material for conspiracy theorists for precisely this reason. The WEF and the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security worked together to run CLADE-X, a simulation of a national pandemic response in May 2018. The experiment specifically replicated the spread of a novel strain of the human parainfluenza virus that contained genetic material from the Nipah virus, a virus known as CLADE-X. The simulation came to a close with a news story warning that in the event of CLADE-X, scientists tell us that we might potentially see 30 to 40 million deaths in the US and more than 900 million around the world, 12% of the worldwide population. Clearly, pandemic preparation was necessary. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins University, and the WEF worked together on Event 201, a pandemic exercise that simulated a worldwide response to the breakout of a novel coronavirus in October 2019. This was 5 months before the World Health Organization classified the Rona epidemic in China as a pandemic and 2 months before it made headlines in China. It has many elements in common with the hypothetical COVID scenario, such as the concept of asymptomatic spread. It almost seems as though the WEF and other international leaders were aware of the impending global epidemic and that this was all part of the plan. Well, an open letter was written to former President Donald Trump in October 2020, just 5 months after the Great Reset's official declaration. Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano of the Catholic Church wrote this letter, and some pretty revealing things were spoken. The letter states, "Permit me to contact you at this hour when the future of the entire world is being endangered by a vast plot against God and humanity. The Great Reset, a global initiative, is now underway. Its architects are a global elite that seeks to impose coercive methods to severely curtail individual liberties as well as the freedoms of entire people. This strategy has already received approval and funding in a number of countries, while it is still in the early stages in others. There are dishonest people that fund the World Economic Forum and Event 201, promoting their agenda, behind the world leaders who are the collaborators and implementers of this diabolical enterprise." Carlo said that the Great Reset global plan would be fully implemented in 2020, with certain countries having already approved and funded the scheme. These countries included Sri Lanka. In 2018, the WEF and the Sri Lankan government published an article that has since been mysteriously taken down from the WEF website. Fortunately, we can get it via the Wayback Machine. Sri Lanka PM. This is how I will turn my country prosperous by 2025. The headline of the article said, "As we can tell from the article, they intend to enrich Sri Lanka through an economic strategy known as Vision 2025, which is expected to bring wealth to all." So, if you think this video has clarified some things for you, please consider liking it and clicking that bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you might want to consider subscribing to our channel. It'll really help us out. Back to our video. Attempt to guess when this proposal will be released to the public in detail. According to the article, yes. This will have the chance to highlight Sri Lanka's historic reforms and our expanding economic ties to the ASEAN community and beyond during the upcoming 27th World Economic Forum in ASEAN in Hanoi, Vietnam. Yes, the proposal was described in full at this WEF conference in 2018 by Ranil Wickremesinghe, a former Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. This clearly indicates that the WEF had a significant influence on the decision-making process. In a smaller country, they were attempting an excellent reset. I'm curious how that has gone for them thus far. In any case, the PM only declared his nation bankrupt last week. And this crisis article describes the situation in depth. Limited food, continuous blackouts, and power cuts. Due to this, the country is protesting. People are rampaging the Capitol building, and many are at their snapping point, the point at which you acknowledge you have nothing to lose by attacking the gangsters who have wrecked your country. Recently, the cost of food, cooking gas, clothing, transport, and even what electricity the state will permit you to have has skyrocketed so outrageously as the rupee's value plummeted. In just 4 years, the country went from being wealthy and a rising global power to becoming bankrupt and disintegrating, all thanks to the WEF and its Great Reset Plan. So, what should the populace do in this circumstance? They use cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. This piece was published in May 2022, even before the nation declared bankruptcy just last week. According to the article, by late 2020, many were preparing for the worst. When Sri Lanka's crisis erupted, some were ready with generators and cryptocurrencies. For instance, there was a lot of interest in the cryptocurrency industry. People witnessed the central bank's struggle to uphold a fictitious currency peg. According to Prashan Longanathan, an active cryptocurrency dealer based in Negombo, a city on the western coast of the island nation, many people began transferring their cash savings to stablecoins like USDT when they anticipated that it would crash. Those that converted at the rate provided a year ago are at ease. The Great Reset is currently underway, and it is clear from Sri Lanka's example that it is not about economic success, but rather one of despair and misery. Keep in mind that the WEF welcomes you to 2030. Life has never been better. I own nothing, and I don't have any privacy. They did not, however, account for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. That is the Great Reset for the masses. And with that, this concludes our video. Acquired a lot of knowledge from this? We recommend checking out our other relevant videos from our channel. Also, consider sharing this video to any friends or family members who might find it useful. Until next time!